Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Krishna Chandra Radha Krishna Chandra Radhe. Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gaurango Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gaurango Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Prabhupada
जय ओम विश्ववाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य ष्ठोत्तर शीर्वान के भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शील प्रभुपाद अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद ग्रंथराज में मद्भागवतम की ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 3, chapter number 20, text number 44 to 46. Text number 44, I read myself, 44 and 45. Tiddhan vidyadaram chaiva tirodhanena sojrata srujat tebhyo adadhatam atmanam antardhanakyam adbhutam. Translation. Then Lord Brahma, by his ability to be hidden from vision, created the Siddhas and Vidyadharas and gave them that wonderful form of his own as the Antardhana. Purport. Antardhana means that these living creatures can be perceived to be present, but they cannot be seen by vision. Text number 45. Sa kinnaran kim purushan pratyamyaneshurajat prabhu manayan atmanatmanam atma bhasham vilokayan. Translation. One day, Brahma, the creator of the living entities, beheld his own reflection in the water and admiring himself, he evolved Kimpurushas as well as the Kinnaras out of that reflection. Text number 46. Te tu ta jagruho rupam te tu yajagruho rupam te to tajagru rupam tyaktam ya parameshthina tyaktam yat parameshthina tyaktam yat parameshthina mithuni bhuya gayanta mithuni bhuya gayanta mithuni bhuya gayanta tam evoshasi karmabhihi tam evoshasi karmabhihi tam evoshasi karmabhihi te to tajagro rupam tyaktam yat parameshthina methuni bhuya ghayanta tam evoshasi karmabhihi te to tajagro rupam tyaktam yat parameshthina methuni bhuya ghayanta tam evoshasi karmabhihi te to tajagru rupam tyaktam yat parameshthina methuni bhuya ghayanta tam evoshasi karmabhihi te to tajagru rupam tyaktam yat parameshthina metuna bhoya gayanta tam evoshasi karmabhihi te to jagruhu rupam tyaktam yat parameshthina mithuni bhuya gayanta tam evoshasi karmabhihi te to jagru rupam tyaktam yat parameshthina methuni bhuya gayanta tam evoshasi karmabhihi te to tajagru rupam tyaktam yat parameshthina methuni bhuya gayanta tam evoshasi karmabhihi. What word meaning? They, the Kinnaras and Kimpurushas. To, but, that. Jagruhu, took possession of. Rupam, that shadow form. Tyaktam, giving up. Given up. Yad, which. Parameshthina, by Brahma. Mithuni bhoya, coming together with their spouses. Gayantaha, praise in song. Tam, him. Eva, only. We shall see at daybreak. Karma bhihi, with his exploit. Translation and purport by Jivan Grace Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. The Kimpurushas and Kinnaras of that shadow we form left by Brahma. That is why they and their spouses sing his praises by recounting his exploits at every daybreak. Translation with repetition. The Kimpurushas and Kinnaras took possession of that shadowy form left by Brahma. That is why they and their spouses sing his praises by recounting his exploits at every daybreak. Purport. The time early in the morning, 1.5 hours before sunrise, is called Brahma Muhurta. During this Brahma Muhurta, spiritual activities are recommended. Spiritual activities performed early in the morning have a greater effect than in any other parts of the day. This is the Bhakti Vedanta purport. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnana Janashalakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Blacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Bhashyanti Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Chapter Conversation between Maitreya and Vidura. So, Vidura is inquiring for Maitreya Rishi. Third canto, chapter number 20. Till now we are discussing Vidura is inquiring Maitreya about the Brahma's creation. The primary creator is the Supreme Lord, Lord Krishna. And the secondary creation, there is Sarga and Visarga. Sarga is a primary creation. Visarga is a secondary creation. Secondary creation are the living entities. The primary creation is the 14 planetary system. After the creation of the 14 planetary system, the Sarga by Lord Vishnu, from the navel of Lord Vishnu, the lotus flower sprouts out. And in the lotus flower, the whole 14 planetary systems are situated. And the top planet is called Satyaloka, where Brahma came into existence by the will of the Lord. So Lord Brahma came. Then Brahma received the knowledge, the Vedic knowledge from the Supreme Lord. And based on the Vedic knowledge, Brahma started created the secondary creation. This is called Visarga. The secondary creation, the creation of the living entities. The process of creation of living entities, the Brahma created so many sages. Brahma created Yakshas, Rakshasas, list of created being. Yakshas, Rakshasas, ghosts, hobgoblins, Pita, Sadhyas, the invisible living entities, ghost, all these living beings came into existence. Then next, today's shloka. Siddhan vidyadharamschaiva tirodhanena cha asujat tebhyo adada tam atmanam antardhanakhyam abdhutam. Then Lord Brahma, by his ability to be hidden from vision, okay? Then Lord Brahma, by his ability to be hidden from a vision, created the Siddhas and Vidyadharas and gave them that wonderful form of his own, from his known as Antardhana. So the ability of hidden mean not in a vision. Hidden mean not in the vision. The hidden from the vision, and this ability Brahma was having, and from this Siddhas and Vidyadharas came into existence. Okay, Siddhas and Vidyadharas, and from that wonderful form of the Brahma, known as Antardhana. Antardhana, Prabhupada writes in the purport, Antardhana means that this living creature can be perceived to be present. Okay, perceived to be present, but they cannot be seen by vision. So their existence can be perceived, but they can't be seen. They can't be seen. So wonderful form is known Antardhana. So these Kinnaras and Vidyadharas have a form, can't be seen, but they can perceive. So next, Sa Kinnaran Chimpurushan Pratyayedha Srishas Prabhu Manayan Atmanatmanam Atma Bhasham Vilokayan. One day, Brahma, the creator of the living entities, beheld his own reflection in water. And admiring himself. So, Brahma looked at his own reflection in water and prizing himself, admiring himself, and evolved Kimpurushas as well as Kinnaras out of the reflection. And Kimpurushas, he evolved the Kimpurushas and Kinnaras from that reflection. So Brahma looked at the reflection and started admiring himself. So from that, Kimpurushas and Kinnaras came out from the reflection. And so Brahma's activists, they are very mystic. Then further, te tu tajjagruhu rupam tyaktum yat parameshthina mithuni bhuya gayanthas tam evosisi karma bhivi. The Kimpurushas and Kinnaras took the possession of that shadowy form left by the Brahma, that reflection. So Brahma has seen his own reflection in water, and Brahma left that reflection, and Kinnaras and Kimpurushas took the possession of that shadowy form left by Brahma, and that is why they and their spouses sing his praises by recounting his exploits at every daybreak. So the spouses, the Kinnaras and Kimpurushas with their spouses, they start praising in the every daybreak, in the morning. So the activities of the Kimpurushas and Kinnaras are singing or praising. So, and these personalities are also situated somewhere around Yaksha planet. They are called semi-demigods. Not as powerful as demigods, but they are also having some power. So the heading all these planets is a Kubera, who is the owner of the Yaksha planets. And all these inhabitants are form cannot be seen. And okay, now the very important things here we are seeing. The process of creation is something is very wonderful, and so many created beings are there in manifested universe, and we admire some research of the scientists or engineers in this material world. Looks so wonderful, but the creation of the Brahma incomparable by any of the so-called great inventions for the mundane man able to do it. And for this wonderful creation, the beautiful thing is that Brahma not taken any hard work. Brahma simply depend on the Lord and meditate on the Lord all the time. And Brahma's every action become a reason for the different living beings came into existence. The speciality of the Brahma, Prabhupada many places explains, Brahma is the first engineer of this material world. The Brahma is the and supreme engineer. So for every action, but that's what we are seeing from many previous verses. So Brahma was in Tamoguna, some Rakshasas came. Brahma is yawning, some other living entity have come. In previous verse, some other activities, Siddhas and Pitasa came. Now Brahma is looking at his own shadow in water and is admiring, prizing his own vision in reflection in water. So Kinnaras and Kimpurushas came. And the activities of Kinnaras and Kimpurushas are singing the glories. They are singing the glories. And what Brahma did? Brahma is prized his own vision in shadow. And shadow is not have the permanent existence. And the Siddhas and Kinnaras not have they can perceive but cannot be in a vision. So, these all connectivity we cannot understand through any material logic. So, for example, okay, in the material world, okay, science to invent, so we will look for some material logic and to explain through the material logic. And Brahma's activity is beyond the material logic. So, where the supreme engineer is the supreme Lord. Krishna is desire to happen, sankalpa matrena. And Brahma able to create all these living entities. And what the learning is here, see the Brahma how completely depend on the Lord. Even the Brahma got all the Vedic knowledge. He is the knower of everything. The Vedic knowledge explains everything, every detail about this material world in advance. The material world was not there. The Vedic literature was given to the Brahma in the beginning of the creation. And the Vedic knowledge explains everything. And based on this Vedic knowledge, Brahma is willing to create. Because Lord has ordered him to create. So Brahma is decided, okay, the will of the Lord, to execute the will of the Lord. And Brahma took up very seriously. And the creation of these living entities happened without any effort of the Brahma. So now without any effort, Brahma is created. It's so wonderful, Adbhuta. And Brahma took the shelter of the Supreme Lord for that beautiful creation. So in the previous few verses, okay, Brahma was in danger. Brahma was so powerful because Lord is empowered the Brahma. Brahma is not ordinary person. Brahma is created a Rakshasa. And Brahma also able to finish up that Rakshasas. So Brahma didn't do anything. Because Brahma is thinking that the Lord is decided to this Rakshasas come into existence, okay, then he will decide what next to happen. So Brahma is simply prayed for the Lord, okay, to protect from this danger. And Lord inspired him to what is the next action Brahma to take. And Brahma simply act according to the order of the Supreme Lord. And creation keep on happening one by one, one by one. So the Brahma is the example for every devotee is supposed to be depend on the Lord. And we call ourselves as a devotees, but not depend on the Lord. We always depend on our own ability many times, and we think that, okay, I able. Shri Radha Krishna Chandra Sitaya Gaurang Shri Srila Prabhupada. Okay. I capable. And capable, okay, we are also capable to some extent, capability we are having, and that capability also given by the Lord. Matta Smriti Jnana Pohanancha. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. All things comes from me, and the Lord given the intelligence. Out of that intelligence, we are able to do something. And we think that this is my ability. And Brahma is given so much ability. Brahma never thought, okay, I have ability. He simply depend on the Lord, and every time he is praying to the Lord and depending on the Lord. So similarly, every aspiring devotee in the path of spirituality should follow the path of Lord Brahma. Mahajana ena gatha pantha. The Brahma is an example for us to follow. Brahma simply depend on the Lord for everything. Devotion practice means like this. Give up mean there is an ego. Ego mean I and mine. And This is a false ego. Ego must be there. That ego must be true ego. True ego is everything because of the Supreme Lord's grace. The grace of the Supreme Lord, everything is happening. That what Lord Krishna telling to Brahma in Chatushloki Bhagavata. There nothing is in this world without me. If anything is existing in this world, that I. Brahma accepted wholeheartedly. You not doubted anything. And that's the reason Brahma is totally depending on the Lord for everything. Similarly, a devotee also should be depend on the Lord for all the time, for every success. For every success, a devotee is depending on the Lord. And this is what the credit is given. Credit is given to the Lord means he is free from the false ego. He is in a true ego. True ego is okay. Everything is happening because we love the Lord. But also devotee also think in other way. Okay, there is also failures also. There is not everything is success. There is also failures in any actions. Also bring, it happens, fails. Okay, we do something great, may not be successful. And okay, now this also will love the Lord. Maybe sometime they will love the Lord. And sometime my own bad karma. So I fail. Sometime my own bad karma that fail. Sometime okay, some wrong things happening in devotee's life. Beloved the Lord. So that a devotee is learning from this, so I should depend on the Lord. So I give up my own independence. Give up my own independence, complete depending on the Lord. What Lord's desire is what I deserve for. Anything is happening because we love the Lord. If something is not happening because I not deserved, because Lord don't want to happen this. So I'll depending on the Lord. All the time a devotee is always happy in both the circumstances. If a devotee learn to be depending on the Lord. If a devotee is not learn to be dependent on the Lord, then okay, depending on his own strength, then he'll undergo all the up and downs in the material. That's the reason a pure devotee is beyond the up and down of the material world, because a pure devotee is completely dependent on the Lord for everything. For that you see that, okay, whatever happening is good. We love the Lord. Anything is happening bad, because Lord is have some His own grace for me to spiritual enlightenment. So Brahma is pointing out that particular thing. Okay, Brahma is glorifying. So Brahma say in Bhagavatam, tattenu kampa sushumi kshamano bunjana evatma kritan vipakam hradvag vapurbhir vadadham namaste जीवेतयो मुक्तिपदे sadhaya bhak. My dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reaction of his own past misdeeds, and offering you respectful obeisances with his heart, words and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. Everyone has the rightful claim for liberation. And who is eligible for rightful claim of liberation? With all the circumstance, one is always hankering for mercy of the Lord. In both the circumstances. In a circumstance is not favorable, the circumstance favorable. In both the condition, a devotee is always looking for the grace of the Lord and offering obeisances very respectfully and depending on the Lord. And Brahma is offering prayers and setting up his own example. Very great lessons for the devotees, how a devotee should depend on the Lord for everything. Simple, actually, for a devotee depend on the Lord, everything in his life happens simple and easy. Otherwise, we are complicating ourselves in the devotional practices. So, depending on the Lord means simply following the instruction of the spiritual master. Mahajanayena gata pantha. Great acharyas for the path followed. Simply faith on that path and execute those activities they did for the perfection, or they advised us to practice, and simply do that much. So, depending on Krishna means Bhakti Yoga. Depending on Krishna means Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga means love towards the Supreme Lord. Understand the Supreme Lord is so loving us. And His protection is there for me all the time. So that is my duty to execute my service to that Supreme Lord who has blessed me all the way, all the time. So, here in the purport, Prabhupada is points one important thing. He say, the time early in the morning, 1.5 hours before sunrise, is called Brahma Muhurta. During this Brahma Muhurta, spiritual activities are recommended. Spiritual activities performed early in the morning have a greater effect than in any other part of the day. So, Bhakti Yoga to be performed, spiritual activities performed in the early morning, the Brahma Muhurta. Difficult getting up in the morning and enthusiastically chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. 2 hours, finish up 16 hours. Troublesome for every conditioned soul. But the faith on the Lord, one day Lord will make, okay, this is enjoying. So for the devotee struggling, getting up early morning is struggling. Chanting, no taste, struggling. And with all this, okay, one take the austerity of this for the Lord's pleasure. Lord is so much caring for me. So what I am doing? I am simply enjoying what is here. So I praise him. Okay, admire. You have say Brahma is admired by his own reflection. Okay, that's the reason. The personality who are admiring, singing the glories. Kim Purusha Kirnarasar came. So, admiring the Supreme Lord is chanting the holy name of the Lord. So, glorifying the Lord, remembering the Lord all the time for His great contribution or care for all of us, and chanting the Hare Krishna mantra faithfully, chanting, and future same chanting out of love. So, ultimately, all these success will happen by the grace of the Lord, depending on that. One, do the spiritual practice nicely. Then we are able to come out of the obstacle, whatever obstacle we are facing in the spiritual journey. And this spiritual practice has become very easy for a devotee. These are the example, the learning from the great devotees. In every action, what they did, they depend on the Lord. Same thing for a conditioned soul in the path of perfection under the guidance of spiritual master acting. They also should be like this, depend on the Lord for every action. The credit is given to the Lord and executing his devotional practices under the guidance of the Acharya, the spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. I'll stop here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.